It's 3 in the morning. You've been lying here for hours. Your body is exhausted, but your brain won't shut off. And when you finally drift, a dream jolts you awake again. If you quit weed in the last couple of weeks, this is probably your night, every night. Here's what nobody tells you. A lot of people don't relapse because of cravings. They relapse because they haven't slept in days, and everything is harder on no sleep. Cravings feel sharper. Moods crash harder. Your willpower is running on fumes. Sleep is quietly the thing that breaks people. So you start looking for something to help, and valerian root comes up everywhere. The question is whether it actually does anything, or whether it's just another supplement that overpromises. I'm going to give you the honest answer: when it works, when it doesn't, and how to use it so it has a real shot. But first you need to understand why your sleep fell apart in the first place, because that changes what you should even expect from a sleep aid. When you smoke daily, THC suppresses your REM sleep, the deep dreaming stage where your brain processes emotion and repairs itself. After months or years, your brain has adapted to almost no REM. The moment you stop, it overcorrects and floods you with all the REM it's been missing. That's the vivid dreams, the constant waking, the nights that leave you more tired than when you went to bed. It's called REM rebound, and it is not a sign something is wrong. It is your nervous system recalibrating. So what can valerian actually do against that? Start with what valerian is not. It is not a sedative. It does not knock you out, and if that's what you're expecting, you'll think it failed. What it actually does is gentler. Valerian interacts with a system in your brain called GABA, your main calming, slow it down signal. The same system many prescription sleep drugs target, but much more lightly. Think of it less like flipping a switch to off, and more like turning a dimmer down. It doesn't force sleep, it lowers the threshold, so a wired, overstimulated nervous system has an easier time settling and staying settled once you drift off. And that is exactly the kind of help you need in withdrawal. Because the problem isn't that you need to be sedated. The problem is a nervous system that's running too hot to let you sleep. Valerian takes some of that edge off. Now the honest part, because you deserve it straight. There is no research on valerian specifically for cannabis withdrawal. None. What there is decent evidence that it helps with general trouble falling asleep and with anxiety-driven insomnia, which happens to be exactly the kind of sleep problem withdrawal creates. So the logic lines up, even if no one has tested this exact situation. What that means in practice: it genuinely helps some people, and it does nothing for others. If your main problem is lying awake, unable to drop off, valerian is worth trying. If you fall asleep fine but wake every hour, valerian alone probably won't fix that, and you'd want to look at combining it with something else. So if you're going to try it, here's how to not waste your time. Most people take valerian wrong, and then decide it doesn't work. There are two classic mistakes: taking too little and expecting it to work the first night. Here's how to actually use it. The dose that tends to do something is 300 to 600 milligrams of a standardized extract. Start at the lower end and move up if a few nights do nothing. Timing matters more than people realize. Take it 1 to 2 hours before bed, not as you're turning off the light. It needs time to build up in your system. Swallow it 10 minutes before bed and you've wasted it. And this is the big one: give it at least 5 to 7 nights before you judge it. Valerian isn't a one and done. The calming compounds accumulate with consistent use, so one night tells you almost nothing. If you also want to stack the odds, valerian is often blended with hops and passion flower, and some people find that combination easier to fall asleep on. A lot of sleep formulas already include all three. Now set your expectations honestly, because this is where people get disappointed. Valerian will not give you normal sleep during acute withdrawal. Nothing fully will, because your brain genuinely needs time to rebuild its sleep architecture. What valerian can realistically do is shave the time it takes to fall asleep and take some of the edge off the rebound. For a lot of people, that's maybe 2 extra hours and waking a little less. In the middle of withdrawal, that is not a small thing. And if a full week of consistent use changes nothing, or your sleep is severe, here's what to do next. If Valerian alone isn't moving the needle after a week, you have options. Melatonin works on a different mechanism and can be added. CBD targets the anxiety and tension side rather than GABA, and some people respond noticeably better to it. And if your sleep is genuinely severe, night after night, under a few hours with real anxiety, that's worth a conversation with a doctor, not just a supplement. And if you'd rather not guess in the supplement aisle, I'll link the Valerian I'd actually reach for, plus a solid melatonin and a CBD option right below. But here's the bigger frame. Valerian is scaffolding. It is something that holds a little weight while your own sleep system rebuilds. It is not a replacement for sleep, and it is not the thing that gets you through withdrawal. The thing that gets you through is having a real structure for the whole process, with sleep as one piece of it. That's exactly what the Cannabis Detox Transformation Program at quit-smoking-weed.com is built for, walking you through all three phases: release, resilience, and clarity, sleep included. The link is in the description. So no, Valerian won't fix your sleep overnight, but used right, it can make these brutal first weeks a little more survivable. And surviving them is the whole game.